I can't hear myself. Okay, that will have to do. Toastmasters and honorable guests, this grandiose story I'm about to tell you is about one fateful night in Bruce Mines, Ontario. Now, back in the summer of 2017, I cycled in the northern part of the province of Ontario, between the city of Sault Ste. Marie and the town of Bruce Mines. There's a 60-kilometer distance between this city and town, where forest and bears flourish. Now, upon arriving in Bruce Mines, Ontario, I paid for my hotel, started to prep for the next day's cycle, and was hoping to have a wonderful sleep. I washed a few clothes by hand and left them out to dry on a chair outside my hotel door. Now, a few hours later, around midnight-ish, I thought it would be wise to bring in those dry clothes, as the weather forecast was predicting rain for the late morning. And in great haste to gather my clothes from outside, I decided first to put on a shirt and a pair of shorts. Nothing worse than stepping outside in your underwear. As I opened the door with my shirt and shorts on, I was greeted with a swarm of black bellicose bugs. And to avoid these pests, I haphazardly took one prodigious leap to the side. Now, to my chagrin, my hotel door slammed shut. It was now locked, and I didn't have a key to re-enter the room. I stood for a moment thinking about my colossal conundrum. How would I get back into my hotel room without a key? This was a small town of 582 people, and every little shop and restaurant was closed, including the main desks at the hotel where I was staying. And rather coincidentally, a truck just happened to drive by into the hotel parking lot and into the gas station just next door. The driver parked the car, exited the vehicle, and headed straight to the nearby payphone. Payphones in 2017, believe it or not, in Bruce Mines, Ontario. So I quickly ran over to the gent, asking if he could assist me in opening my hotel window. Turns out he was a recent immigrant, Ukrainian immigrant, to Canada, and he had no cell phone. And he needed to call his mother in Sault Ste. Marie to tell her he was on his way home. Vlad was his name, and he spoke with a light accent, and was kind enough to try to pry open my hotel window, but to no avail. The window screen was locked. We were befuddled. So Vlad thought he remembered the hotel owner's name. He knew they were German, but he just couldn't pinpoint their exact name. So using the phone book in the phone booth, he looked up Muller, then Schneider. He couldn't quite recall the hotel owner's surname. Believe it or not, a young jogger just happened to be jogging past the hotel at that moment, at midnight. What a coincidence. So Vlad waved through the jogger, asking for assistance. Turns out the jogger remembered the hotel owner's name. It was Schmidt. Schmidt. Vlad hurriedly looked up the name in the phone book. He found the address and offered to drive me to the hotel owner's house in hope of getting a key to my hotel room. So I hopped into Vlad's truck, and he drove us through this long, bumpy, unpaved dirt road deep into the dark and dreary forest. We arrived at the house, which looked more like a mansion. I rang the doorbell, and to our surprise, 10 small dogs started to bark and bellow from within the home. Mrs. Schmidt was walking down a set of stairs in her nightgown, and as she opened the door, she gave us this little askance look. And I quickly explained the situation and asked if she had a key to my hotel room. She looked at me up and down and said in this demonstrative tone with her strong German accent, "No, I do not have a key." She proceeded to shut the door rather abruptly. How unbecoming. I did not relish the idea of not knowing where I was going to sleep that evening. So Vlad drove me back to my hotel while I tried to muster enough energy to find a solution to this dastardly dilemma. Eventually, Vlad dropped me off at my hotel room door, and he took a moment to ponder prudently this problem. And in a moment of relief, Vlad said, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I just purchased a new, very sharp screwdriver, which may help us open the window screen. He tried his trusty tool and voila, eureka! It worked remarkably well. Vlad unlocked the screen, pushed the window open, and I walked through, or rather crawled through the window into my hotel room, relieved. And once inside, I found the hotel key, grabbed it, then opened the door and thanked Vlad with all my heart. By this time, it was 1:30 in the morning. What's worse is this tumultuous tale in Bruce Mines, Ontario, would have been so much more humorous had I initially worn only my underwear before opening the door to fetch my dry clothes. But when you're so affectionately concerned about being fully clothed, anything can happen. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.